Hello, everybody. I bet it looks weird without my mask on, huh? All right, we're going to wrap up our notes on seeds and sexual propagation. I believe this is where we left off. So when we're starting seeds, so we can start seeds indoors, which means we can get a jump start on the growing season. If we wait to plant them outside, you're going to lose a month or so of germination time because it's too cold outside. So by starting the seeds indoors, we can start them in warmer temperatures and the seeds can grow a little bit, and then we can transplant them outside. So this is what we were doing in class. So we have what are called plugs, but you can buy commercial flats and containers from gardening supplies companies, or you can use recycled materials. So a plug is just a cylinder medium in which a plant can grow. So each one of these sort of squares is a plug. We also have what's called a peat plug. I showed you guys this in class. So it's this little pellet here, and when you add water, the soil in there absorbs the water and it expands to this, and you add the seed just in the very top there. Wood trays can also be built. Commercial flats and pony packs should be sanitized in a 10% bleach solution. It's important that we're using sanitary plugs because if there's certain bacteria and stuff that get in there, that can damage your seeds and that will prevent them from growing. You can also use simple things from around the house like milk cartons, pie cans, and stuff like that. So when we're starting our seed, we need to start it at the proper time. So if you plant it too early, the seed's going to kind of run out of room to grow before you can plant it outside. If you start it too late, you're not going to get a lot of sort of bang for your buck. You're not going to get as much fruit and vegetables off your plant if they're starting a little bit later. Also, the plant proper depth. Remember, if you plant too deep, the seed might start to grow, but it's never going to reach the surface before it runs out of energy from the endosperm, and then it won't be able to photosynthesize and it won't make it, it'll die off. You can also cover your seed with appropriate material. Saprolite, vermiculite. Saprolite is a lightweight mineral that prevents soil from compacting. So it's, remember what we need for germination, we need oxygen. So we don't want soil that's really compact, tight, to allow, that won't allow oxygen in. So we want our soil nice and light and fluffy to allow air into it, and that'll help bring oxygen in. This is actually one reason why worms are so good for the ground, because the worms dig through the ground and that adds a little bit of air. When we get into landscaping, we'll talk about aerating. Some people will aerate their lawn, which means to kind of punch holes in the ground to allow air to get into the ground. So that'll help allow plants to grow a little bit better. Vermiculite, this is going to increase the water and nutrient retention and aerate the soil. So it's going to be able to absorb that water nutrients a little bit better than regular soil. And sometimes sand is added. That's going to increase the drainage. We don't want seeds sitting in completely soggy material because it's too wet for them and they won't grow. Pre-germination is a good way to start tomatoes, peppers, and other plants that need an early start. This will make sure that you will get more peppers and more plants per growing season. Once your seeds have established themselves, then we're going to have to transplant them because that little plug is going to be too small for your plant. We also need to allow a hardening off period. This gradually exposes tender plants to the wild sun and rain, toughening them up by thickening their cuticle on the leaves so that they lose less water when exposed to the elements. It's almost like fish. If ever you had fish and you get a brand new fish, and if you just put your fish right into the container of water, most likely it's not going to do well and might end up dying. What you should do is keep the fish in the little plastic bag that you get it in, put the plastic bag in the water, the aquarium that you're going to use, to allow the temperatures to slowly acclimate and slowly adjust. That won't really, that prevents sort of the shocking of the fish. It's a similar kind of thing here. We don't want to shock our plants. We also make sure we be gentle with our root systems because remember, they're sort of the life of the plant. If your root systems aren't healthy, the whole rest of your plant is not healthy. You need to make sure you give them adequate space so that they can grow and spread out. And when you transplant them, you need to make sure you water and fertilize after transplanting. Seed vigor. Seed vigor is the sum total of those properties of the seed which determine the level of activity and performance of the seed or the seed lot during germination and seedling emergency. So in other words, it's the seedling vigor talks about sort of the size of the seed, the health, the growth rate. This is a product of several factors related to genetics and environmental influences that will affect your seed vigor. So it's the percent of seeds that also sprout and live, and that's what we're doing with our germination projects. We're getting a percent to see what percent sprout and live, so we're gonna get an idea of what the seed vigor is. Seed size can be one predictor of vigor, as larger seed varieties tend to be more vigorous. Smaller seed varieties can also be our highest yielding varieties in some years. However, extra care and may sometimes be necessary to ensure vigor seeding growth. A cold test simulates early spring field conditions by germinating seeds in wet soils. By wet, we mean greater than 70% water holding capacity. And we incubate them at 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, which is about 40 to 51 degrees for a specific time period. At the end of this cold time period, the test is then transferred to a favorable temperature for germination. The percentage of the normal seeds is considered an indication of seed vigor. Vigorous seeds germinate better in colder environments. You can think of them as being a little bit more hardy. Seed deterioration. So if something deteriorates, that means it's going to become, it breaks down, becomes less healthy. Increase the seed's exposure to external challenges and decrease the ability for the seed to survive. Seed deterioration causes loss of seed quality with time. So here's factors that can affect deterioration. So we have some environmental factors. RH, the temperature, oxygen pressure, storage, fungi is a big one. Seed factors, okay, what's the moisture of the seed, the composition, maturity, provenance, and internal vigor, and mechanical damage. So maybe there's something wrong inside the seed. So all of these can affect the seed and determine whether they will survive or not. Damping off is the term that we use for a horticultural disease or condition. And this is caused by several different pathogens that can kill or weaken the seed or seedlings before they even germinate. It's most prevalent in wet and cool conditions. And this is why we tend to use sort of sterile soil, because sometimes these pathogens will be in soil that's just in your backyard. And that's why plants might not grow as easily in your backyard. So prevention, we can sow seeds in sterile growing mediums. Again, that's like the sterile soil that you might buy in a store versus your backyard soil. So damping off, you'll often find a lot of growth in the beginning, but then they kind of wilt and fall over. So that's a sign of damping off, that they fall over. And that is it for this lecture. See you guys later.